Hello everyone, and welcome back to Horror Classics with me, DJ. In this episode, I'm going to be taking care of the cave that we discovered in the last episode. We had already killed the spider boss that would have made things quite a bit more risky for us. Though, there are still many threats to our well-being in these caves. It's going to be a violent one, so let's get started. The first step is to, of course, goblin away our loot, but we're going to be needing the inventory space for the puzzles that are coming up anyway. This is one thing I very often struggle with in games. Caves. When you're surrounded by rock, it all seems to blur together. It becomes oppressive, restrictive. The only way I can figure out where I'm going is by knowing the area and knowing what doors lead where. There's barely enough landmarks to be able to tell. It's good horror, but dang does it get to me. So after turning a crank to rotate a wall and evading a boulder, we find ourselves at a rather basic though slightly annoying puzzle. While I'm pushing these statues for way too long, why don't we have a quick recap? We know there's a traitor in our group. Someone lured the STARS team here to conduct combat trials, and that traitor, as far as we know, is still in this cave, having taken out Bravo team leader Enrico previously, before we were attacked by the hunters that infest these caves. The two main suspects we have right now is Barry and Wesker, though it could also be Chris, who, like Wesker, was separated from the rest of the team. Though there is a chance for escape, granted that the helicopter pilot that brought us here is still in the area. I guess we just have to hope for a place that we can radio in, that we're still there and alive. Sometimes the camera angles just make me feel so stupid in this game. But regardless, we press on. But with that in mind, we complete the puzzle and grab the top half of the shaft. Maybe that's what we needed to get the elevator working. So let's head back and see about getting out of this cave. These caves do a great job of making you feel claustrophobic. With the addition of the monsters in this area, it becomes a perfectly lethal and terrifying zone. Disorienting, tight, and uncomfortable. If it was easier going through here, I think the point of this addition to the game might be lost. All that being said, it's really easy for me to get lost in them. Thank you for your patience as I make my way through.
Jill!
Barry? Thank God you're safe.
You too, Jill. A noise I heard brought me down here, but I didn't expect to find a place like this. Have any idea as to what might be at the bottom?
There's only one way to find out.
What the hell is that sound? It could be a person. Jill, go check it out. We had enough surprises for one day. I'll stay here and secure our escape route in case something happens.
Okay.
Oh, it's Barry. A noise brought him down here. But we only heard the sound deeper into the caves. That is fairly suspicious, though perhaps he was referring to the other sounds in the air. Gunfire and monsters shrieking throughout the caves. Regardless, he's saved us a few times, so I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't believe we need the crank anymore, so I went ahead and stashed it away. The only reason I really moved down this ladder is because I could not remember for the life of me what was actually down there. But it's good to take note that it is the trash compactor. We'll need that for later. And oh god, it's Lisa. That's not ideal. Let's do our best to avoid her as we look around. Getting some sense of the area is going to be important if we don't want to end up going through all of our healing items in this segment. So before we get this area done, we have to take a look around. In one room, there's a box and a transportation conveyor. Well, if a box is pushable, it needs to be pushed. And I think it's pretty straightforward where it's going. On our way back to the elevator room, we find that Barry is gonna head up without us, leaving us down here with this monster. But as long as we stay mostly calm, we should be able to find a way out of here. Maybe down near the trash compactor is something that can help us. Well, I think I know where Barry got that flamethrower. We trusted him and he abandoned us. But he has also saved us in the past. Was it to gather more combat data? Is he the traitor and the one Enrico was talking about? Things to think about after we get out of here. For now, though, let's hold on to the flamethrower. It might come in handy even though it's broken, though it's hard to know why. Aha! I knew my random propensity to flip switches would be handy, but all joking aside, I got nothing to really say about this segment. I'm not quite so sure how much sense it makes to have a flamethrower as a key. So with that in mind, let's try to find this door while taking as little damage from Lisa as possible. We could fight her, but it would chew through a lot of supplies. So I'm simply going to try and juke her. If I get hit a few times, we should be fine down the road. Oh, excellent. A red and green herb. We might not have gotten to the door, but third time's the charm, hopefully? We had a very close call there with Lisa, and that herb likely saved our life. And we're out. That might have not been a long segment, but it definitely felt like one. After escaping, we'll find a jewelry box. Before they held the masks, so it's likely something important. And that dagger on the bed, well, I was going to skip it, but it shimmered at me. And since this is just a standard playthrough, I am going to end up grabbing it. Oh hey, it's this place. That explains quite a bit. I'm guessing since the monster comes around here, Barry was not aware that it connected to the surface. Either that or he assumed Lisa was going to kill us. Either way, we're out. And considering how much those caves frustrate me, I am going to end up venting some frustration out here very shortly. So while we make our way back, let's think. Barry seems like the traitor, though he would likely find it hard to directly execute his fellow STARS members, considering every time he would have easily been rid of us, he ended up saving us. Some of those monsters would have killed us, as well as some of the traps earlier in the game. He did mention his family back in the residence, and seemed to be talking to someone. I think Barry might be being threatened to comply with the traitor, leaving Wesker and Chris as the most likely candidates. Though for right now, I still don't trust Barry fully for obvious reasons. Even if he's not a terrible person, he can still demonstrate betrayal. But with that being said, we find ourselves in the mansion yet again. All's well enough right now, though we do have some other things to grab. For one, that first aid spray we left here. Better to be fresh for our return to the mansion. And just to make sure nothing follows us through, we're gonna hang on to this emblem. Better safe than sorry, and it might prove useful in escaping besides. And yes, I know I don't have to take this route, but honestly it's good fun to kill things with a grenade launcher, so I'm not exactly upset with the loss of rounds. Sometimes it's better to enjoy yourself than to be perfect. At least that's my justification for this. But that's about all the time I have left for this episode. I know things might not have moved as fast as in the previous episodes, and I feel like I could have gotten more done. But we did get out of the cave and find a big piece of the plot. As far as right now, we're running solo in the story, having evaded death that would have resulted from Barry's betrayal. Next week, will we see the conclusion? We're getting so close that even the mansion we were so comfortable in is becoming a threat. Hey, Editor DJ here. It completely slipped my mind that the jewelry box had contained a note, so before we wrap up fully, I'm gonna hop in with a quick narration. A family picture and notes. There is something written on the back. November 10th, 1967. Progenitor virus administered. Jessica. Administered virus. Type A. Plasmalizing of tissue during cell activation. Virus fusion negative. Action disposed. Lisa. Administered virus. Type B. Plasmalizing of tissue during cell activation. Virus fusion positive but delayed fusion. Body modification. Observed constant results. Status continue protective observation. George. Action terminated. November 30th, 1967. There's a journal left by someone. November 14th, 1967. I feel dizzy after that shot they gave me. I don't see Mom. Where did they take her? She promised that we would escape together. Did she escape alone and leave me behind? November 15th, 1967. I found Mom. We ate together. I was very happy. But she was a fake, not my real mom. Same face, but different inside. Have to find Mom. Have to give face back to Mother. I got Mom's face back. Nobody can have my mom except me. I attach her face to me so she doesn't go away. Because Mom's sad when I meet her without her face. November 17th, 1907. From inside box, scent of mommy. Maybe true mother there. Stone box hard, it hurt. Steel rope in the way. Can't see mother because 4 stones. But as I sort through the things I may or may not need in the safe room, I do want to take a moment to thank you all. The channel has been growing slowly and surely, and everyone that has chosen to stick with me has been just flat amazing to see. You're all awesome, so I would like to thank you for joining me on this journey through a true horror classic, and I can't wait to see this story through to the end. This has been DJ, and as always, keep it real.